J360 Radio.
Hello, J360 Legion, and welcome to the J360 Mini Bites here on J360 Radio, hosted by J.M. Brady. I am your host, J.M. Brady. Let's get into it. Hey, how's it going, J360 Legion? What is happening? Yes, that's right. Welcome to the all-new J360 Radio here on Mixlr, baby. There is no more Spreaker. We are here officially now. And let me just tell you this, it feels so good to be back, guys. I mean, I've been gone for the whole month of February just about? That never happens usually. I mean, I go away for a week and then I come back, but then it's no. We had to take care of business because, see, here's the thing about Spreaker. Spreaker was getting rid of their live audio streaming. So, and I figured with all the money that I paid to Spreaker and stuff like that to stay on for those many years, especially, I started lightly, you know what I mean? I started in the second season of the J-Man show, and I was like, well, as much as I like doing podcasts, I feel better doing radio, and I just love doing radio all the time, especially since it was the first medium I wanted to get into before filmmaking. So, I was like, nah, this just isn't it, I want it more. So I had to move on from SoundCloud where I started, and I went to Spreaker. And then, when I went to Spreaker is because not only could you produce a show live, you could actually have that live show become your podcast. And the truth is I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. And I had some great years with them. You know what I mean? And then iHeartRadio came in. The same company that I have. To be honest with you, I have never liked iHeartRadio. I thought iHeartRadio, if anything, has destroyed what radio is. So, I'm just not a fan of iHeart. Just that company just annoys the hell out of me. Especially what they do. I mean, they have some personalities and stuff like that, but the personalities that I hear on there, you might as well be talking to Wood. You might as well be talking to, That's why, XM was always better to me. Which, by the way, I got to make sure, we get the distribution all taken care of, so we're all on XM. But, you see, that means we have to be on Pandora, and I got to go ahead and check that out. But, yeah, it's been a major overhaul with that. And then, iHeartRadio came in, and when they came in, they started stripping all the cool things that Spreaker was. You know what I'm saying? The service wasn't the same anymore. The helpfulness wasn't there anymore. Somewhere around, the fourth, going into the fifth season of the J-Man show, things started to, really change. You see what I'm saying? So I had to not only deal with outside problems, such as those of you that can't log in, or those of you that had a hard time, dealing with Spreaker. Trust me, I had to deal with Spreaker nonsense when I was producing the shows over there. You know what I'm saying? It was things that you could have done last year that you cannot do this year, So I had to deal with that, and I was like, the hell with that. I'm going to go ahead and be me. You don't have no bearings on my show. You guys are the platform. That's about it. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to be a moving. So the best thing I could have done is look for someplace better, that actually functions as a radio station, which Mixlr does, in addition to, a few others that I know about. So it was really, really tough, because I had to go ahead and run around and, pick, different spots of where we could go at. And, some people talk a big game, but the offering wasn't what we needed. And then not only that, while I'm doing the live, some of y'all can't make it to live stuff because, like I said, we're all at different time zones. We're all doing things at multiple times. Even right now, technically the show's a little late because, I was handling some business and lost track of time. None of my alarms went off. That was so weird. But let me just let y'all know that, It was really difficult because, it's not like you started and you're going on. Yeah, we're starting anew, but you see, we also have, a huge body of work here. So if anybody was sitting there he needs to hurry up, he needs to hurry and get all this stuff done. It's yeah, that's 700 episodes, asshole. You know what I'm saying? All of those things had to be transferred. So the most important thing is I had to make sure we had a post game, and we also had the station itself. So fortunately, you do have that. Whereas we have it used to be Spreaker and stuff like that. But you see, you got the live stuff here, and you're gonna have new episodes and collections so that you guys can listen to them at any time. But to take note of like storage space and stuff, a lot of the other episodes are going to be on our main podcast outlet called Red Circle. Red Circle is awesome. So it's like all these people here have been really, really cool, and I've emailed them, so it's not like I blindly signed up. You know, hey, I'm running a business here, so you got to really talk to people and stuff. Like, there are some that have been helpful, and then there are some that have been like, oh, we don't know. Because, you know, like, some people like certain shows, and then some people are like, oh, we're scared of J360 jams, which is what Spotify did. But it's funny that Spotify would do that, even though... It's funny that Spotify would have a problem with J360 jams, even though J360 jams was doing fantastic over there. And then not to mention, like, there's other radio shows that are over there. You know what I'm saying? Or, like, DJ mixes and all that stuff. But, you know, get bent, Spotify. I could care less. I don't like the way you treat, like, indie podcasters and stuff. And I was going to actually do the whole Spotify for podcasters things, but just something about that just felt wrong. You know what I'm saying? I was like... yeah, you know, everybody else is over here. I fuck all this. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, like, right here, you know, I'm on my own keel. I'm doing all the cool stuff that I can do. And Mixler's just been so great and inviting. And, like, so is Red Circle. So I can do, like, pretty much whatever I want with the programs now. And then not to mention, like, you know, it's all pretty stable. And, like, when you go ahead and you check these things out, each and every time, like, when you're looking at something live, like, I will be messaging in the chat room, and I'll always have, like, the links for the previous episodes that you actually can go ahead and tune into, which is really, really cool. And then, like, you know, it's always here. And, like, when it uploads and it's updated after I'm done being live, you can check it out here, and you can also check it out on Red Circle as well. All right? Yes. I wanted to make sure, like, you know, when we go into this new phase, this new era, that all of you enjoy, like, what is here, so you don't necessarily need to leave, you don't necessarily need to, you know what I'm saying, like, you all get a great experience for each and every single J360 property, and, like, you know, new stuff ahead, because I thought about this a long time ago, and I listened to some of the other episodes before we got to this one, and I'll tell you the truth, like, I know I've been critical about things, and I know there are moments where, like, I do parodies and make fun of things, and some people are like, wow, you know, you really go all in on that stuff, and it's like, well, it's a fact, because, like I said, these are people with money making mediocre shit, you know what I'm saying, whereas with me, like, when I had no money, and I used what I had, and I make stellar content, or I make stuff that actually get you thinking. Or like, you know, I at least create. See, you can have a whole bunch of people come together and talk about, you know, the same old things. Or, you know, help out people's comfort zone. Try to please the algorithm. Try to do all this other stuff. If there's one thing I will always tell you, even in the early days of J360 Radio to now, I will never compromise myself to sit at anybody's table. I will never dim my light to actually fit in with other people, because the whole thing about groups is that groups are supposed to work and grow together, whether people are coming in or whether people are leaving. Problem is, human nature comes in there and it fucks all that stuff up. And there are people that have been in the game a little bit longer than me, but they get jealous when I show up. And the truth is, I might not have as many listens, but I have a lot of downloads that they, you know, match them, and then they get bent out of shape. Or, like, you know, some people just get uncomfortable when somebody shows up on their own vehicle and never asks them for anything. So as you're doing your own and as you're building your own and stuff like that, they have a problem with it. Because all of this stuff around here, guys, all of these rules and all these things they impose on us as creators, and, you know, you're not seeing your views go up and all that stuff. This whole damn thing is not about regulation. This is about control. It's been about control forever. Like, everything on, like, Instagram, everything on Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. And you know what? When Facebook and Instagram went down today, that was a beautiful thing. I was happy about that. You know, if you're one of those people that keep looking at your phone and keep trying to get in and all that stuff, unless you're, like, doing, like, PR for a company or, like, you know, a public service on those social media apps, that just goes to show you're highly addicted to your phone. So it's like one of those things where when you come home, like, take like an hour or two to unplug or something like that. But of course, you know, so there's going to be somebody like that, well, so that means when I get home, I'm not going to listen to your podcast. I don't know when you listen, but I mean, I'm thankful that you do. But it's like this. You want to go ahead and combat certain things, right? How about this? If they want to control you, you control yourself, and you're the consumer, so in a way you control them. So you got to go ahead and pull your habits back. You got to go ahead and change all that stuff around. It's almost like game changing, if you will. But it's one of those things to think about, y'all. And, I know the mini bites are usually 15 minutes, but we're going to extend this one out. Hey, I own the show. Why not? But it's like, when you think about it, it's been a crazy amount of weeks. But I knew, I had to do this because I wanted to do J360 Radio again. Even though I could have jumped into J360 TV full time, but I like them both. You know what I'm saying? So, stay tuned for J360 TV, by the way. We're going to be kicking off some more stuff with that next week. But, yeah, man. So I was like, I got to go ahead and get all this stuff done. I got to get all these things organized. I got to get all them categorized and all. So you can tell what season it is based off of the art. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about that if you have a hard time understanding, what the dateline, the timeline is and all that jazz. But yeah, all in all, though, I knew I had to go and do a lot of things to get us back here. So we are back. We are on the air again. We have Outlet, Jams Project. Well, the Jams Project was okay. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to go ahead and do 83, 84, and then 85. Of course, I think 83 happened before I went away. But yeah, it just needed to be done. And then just stay tuned because there's more to come. Especially for the premium channel, especially for everything. I am not entirely done yet. But the thing is that at least I can go ahead and make some more content for you all because J360 Radio is set. So that's just one of those things to look forward to. Oh, and by the way, for those of you that have been waiting on Project Conference's return, it is coming back. So don't you worry about that entirely. But what it is that J360 Jams TV is always getting hit with Content ID. For some reason, like I said, I know that for Jams, you and I make deals, but for some reason, YouTube just doesn't understand that people actually talk to each other and make deals. So it's always a thing. So if I'm going to ask you guys for a little bit of extra regarding J360 Jams, that's because, if I ever do, it's because of YouTube's nonsense. Which, by the way, didn't YouTube fire, no, not YouTube. Well, it's Alphabet now. But didn't Alphabet fire people in charge of YouTube Music because they unionized? See, that's some bullshit, man. We just landed on YouTube Music, you know what I mean? So who's managing that now? Yes, a lot of the podcast shows have landed on YouTube Music, which I got to go ahead and get that distribution stuff rolled out for you guys. But I wanted you guys to just focus on two things right now, which is Mixler, J360radio.mixler.com and Red Circle, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? Because it has a link, but it's like this. Each link is different for each one. So, I got to go ahead and throw that stuff together. But if you look at, things in the description box and the link below, you're going to see, all the stuff that you need. And I have changed the master link from, what was it? It was Flow Page. We don't have that no more. That's gone. We have a new one now, and I'm going to go ahead and dish all that stuff out later in the week. But yeah, all in all, though, guys, school's open, and J-Man's back, and yeah, it's about to get real up in here, and this is officially J360 Radio. Those of you that have been wanting to connect more and utilize the hotline, yes, the hotline will start being a part of different things, so that's active. Everything is back. So, even for J360 TV, too, guys, this is phenomenal. This is happening. So that's a lot for y'all to look forward to. And then, as I'm going about things, trust me, the movies that I want to make are in the back of my mind as well. All this stuff's just yes, this is crisp. So you're just going to have to sit here and see how things are going. And, active engagement is always important. And like I told you about, Jams TV. Oh, speaking of which, we'll dive into Jams a little bit right now. The Jams Project is active because this is a Jams week. So you have, two, you have plenty of room. Like I said, the deadline isn't until Thursday. So we still got plenty of room for people who want to join in and be a part of it. So, you submit your 2 tracks and the link of what you want to grow. It could be a Spotify. It could be a Bandcamp. It could be, an Apple Music. It's entirely up to you what link you want to grow. Or you can send me, your all links if you want. But what it is with that and the 2 tracks that you have, you're representing yourself, and you will have your spot on J360 Jams, and you'll be ready to go. And J360 Jams is a bi-weekly program, which I want to remind you guys about. So we're not on that show every week, but we prep for it every week. So, like really just pay attention. If there isn't one happening on a Friday, submissions are open. You see what I'm saying? Like usually people wait for me to announce that stuff, and trust me, now that I got all what I need to do here, you're going to get a lot of announcements now. And then not to mention like what I got on Instagram regarding that broadcast channel, like I don't know what it is. Like it seems like you guys get bombarded by a lot of things, right? And I usually make those things for those that use certain social media apps and stuff. Like I still have the Discord too, but it's like, you guys are bombarded by too much shit that these companies make. Like, and it's not easy on my side either, because like once again, it's like I got to maintain this, and then I got to maintain that, and then I got to go to another page here, and it's like, look, we're gonna have to unify this stuff. So one way or another, guys, I'm working this out on what we can unify, like for messages and all that kind of stuff. Trust me, I got it in the back of my mind of what we need to do. It's just that this stuff's just everywhere now, all at once. It's like, damn. So it's like, getting rid of what you don't use and making sure like what the most important things are. And plus, you guys can always email me. You can email me on j360jams@gmail.com if you're a musician. I would prefer that if you're a musician, because like I'm working with a lot of other groups and everything. So on like the J360 Productions at Outlook.com, that's really for a lot of business inquiries and, like clients and all that kind of stuff. Not to say that musicians aren't my clients from time to time, but it's like, use the jams one if you are about musical life. Okay? So as we're working all this out and as we're getting all this stuff together, I just wanted to let you guys know that. And like, yeah, as much as I'd like to go ahead and dive into the problems of the world, I wanted to give you a bit of positivity as we go into things. And we are well over that 15-minute limit. So, hey, I don't care. Let's go to 17 then. But other than that, though, this is J-Man signing off. Y'all take care of yourselves. Peace.